Good morning, year one, and welcome to our second day of our work on fractions. So today we're going to be concentrating on halves and quarters. But before we do that, we've got a sequencing problem for you to look at. So it's up to you whether you do both of these. I'm going to go through the first one, and I will go through the top of the second one just because it's a bit trickier. But if you just want to do this first sequence, that's absolutely fine. So when you're ready, start the video again, and we'll count on and fix it. So this is going up in two. So it starts at 0, it goes 2, 4, and then the next one has got to be 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and that works, 18, 20, 22. Now you might need a number square for some of these other ones, but it's 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, and 34. This other one goes up in the odd numbers because those are even numbers. So it goes 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29, 31, 33. Now, here is the second set. I wouldn't mind you having a go at the top one, but I'm not too bothered about the other two. Okay, so if you want to pause the video and start it again when you're ready. Okay, now this is a bit trickier. What we've got is we've got 4, 6, 8. There's something in between 8 and 10. If you look on your number square, you'll see that the number in between is 9. So the next one is 10, 12, 14. And then there's a number in between 14 and 16. That's going to be 15. And that's 18. Next one's 20, 22, 24, 26. And for the other two, that's exactly the same principle, okay? Once you've done them, that's the end of our starter. Okay, so welcome back. This is what we're doing today. You're going to be able to recognise and explain what a half and a quarter is. Most of you be able to shade half or a quarter, and some are going to be able to identify halves and quarters of more difficult shapes. So quickly remind me, what's a half? Brilliant. So a half is 1 part out of 2, and it looks like something like this, half shaded in. Okay. What about this then? What's a quarter? Pause and tell your grown-ups. So a quarter is 1 out of 4, and typically, the easiest ways to represent it would be like this. That's a quarter, 1 quarter. Okay. So let's have a check if you can sort these into halves, quarters, and leave any that are neither behind. Okay. And when you're ready, we'll go through this as well. Okay, so let's have a go at these. This first one, is this a half or is it a quarter? Well, it's 1 part out of 4 and they're equal size, so it's a quarter. This one is 1 out of 2 equal size, so that's a half. What about this one? I think that's sneaky. It's not a half because it's not equal, so let's just put it over here. What about this one? 1 part out of 4. Are they all the same size? They are, so that goes there. Now this is 1 part out of 4, but is it equal? No, it's not. What about this one? A half or a quarter? No, it's actually 1/5. It's 3/5. 3 out of 5. This next one, half or a quarter? It looks equal and it's 2, so it's a quarter, so it's a half. And then this last one is a quarter because it's 1 equal section out of 4. Well done. Okay, so what you're going to do today is you're going to shade in these. Now there's a couple of examples and then you can have a go at doing it all. So here, 1 quarter of the shape is blue, another quarter is red, half of the shape is yellow. So have a go at colouring each of the shapes and find different ways to colour them. I'm going to do the first one, you do the remaining ones. Okay, so the first one, a quarter of the shape is blue. I'm not going to use a highlighter, I'm going to use a crayon because I think it'll be neater. So a quarter of the shape is blue. So I'm going to colour in a quarter blue. It doesn't matter which quarter does it, but it's one section out of 4. Now the next thing it tells me is a quarter of the shape is red. So I change my crayon and a quarter is red. And then the last thing it tells me is half is yellow. So that's going to be 2 parts, or half of it. Can you see that that's half? It's yellow. And what I want you to do now is have a go at colouring these different patterns, but always keeping the same. So there's a quarter blue, quarter red, and half yellow. And when you've done that, we're going to go on to the second one. Okay, welcome back. So the second one we're going to do is a bit trickier. Quarter of the sails are blue, quarter of the sails are red, and half are yellow. So it's the same mix up, but a quarter, this time let's count how many there are, there's 8, is going to be 2 out of 8. And a half is going to be 4 out of 8. So have a go, and then I'm going to show you how it could look. Okay, welcome back. How did you do? So it could look like this. Half, I'm going to do the yellow first, half is this. Part of the reason I'm doing this first is because it's easier to see a half. See that we've covered half the shape. Then a quarter is going to be red, which is 2 sections out of 8. And then the remaining quarter is going to be blue, which again is 2 sections out of 8. Or 1 out of 4. So 2 out of 8. Okay, and no doubt you've managed to do that. And that pretty much is what we're doing today, but we do have a bit of a challenge at the end. I want you to have a look at these two and tell your grown-up which one of these can be divided into halves and quarters and which one can't. And if you can explain how you know, that would be even better. So, welcome back. The one that can is this one. The one that can't is this one, because this one here, I've put a cross by now, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas this one here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you can divide that into quarters. So a quarter would be 1, 2, 3. And a half would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And that's the end of today's maths lesson.